What up, y'all? It's your man Wayne Train back with another joint, and today I got that Motorola Razr review. Let's get it. Now, if you don't know who I be, I go by the name Wayne Train. My real name is Dwayne Mims. You can search that up at the top. That's DW down at the bottom. You can check that out. Not DU like a lot of people say. But anyway, you can search it up at the top if you're looking for your boy. We do tech videos, tech reviews, just like this one, tech unboxings, tech talks, discussions, anything revolving the world of tech. And if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to your boy. But today we about to break it down on the Motorola Razr, man. We about to keep it real, uncut, raw, unedited, as much as possible. I'm not gonna bash anything. I'm not gonna come at Motorola's head about anything. I'm gonna just gotta keep it, but I do gotta keep it real. Now, keeping it consistent with other reviews that I wanna do, or that I'm like, how I wanna do my reviews. Let's start off with design and build quality. Now, before I get right into that, you got some backstory a little bit. So I did get the phone right when it was released. Did the pre-order and everything. Got it on February 6th. Basically been living with it since then. Hasn't been my real daily driver because of my line of work. Don't really want to bring it to work. I did bring it to work today and used it for the most part how I would typically use my phones. But I just did another video. I'll put the link at the top on my battery experiences and all that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I have still been using it like day in the life kind of thing. I just don't take it to work just because I don't want to, I paint cars. I don't want to get any dirt, dust, extra dust like that in the phone right away. Now, a lot of people will be like, yeah, what you're supposed to do? You know, you want to see if it can withstand that? Yes. I'm telling you right now, though, it's a scary thing. $1,500 phone and paint with no cases. I have there's like one case that somebody sent me the link to that I'm gonna go get. All the cases are mad expensive and it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's just go ahead. I'm gonna get right into the build quality and design of this phone, which for the most part is why a lot of people, like myself anyway, got this phone. The design and build quality of this thing is, let's just say the design of this thing is amazing. Now, I don't know about you, but when I pictured the idea of a foldable phone, this is what I thought of. The Razr, just like this, clamshell, what they calling it, whatever. I liked it. This is what I envisioned. Full screen, you know, flip, just like that. Got your full mini display up in the front. Like everything about this phone, you know, slim design, all that, you know, all that dope. I like this. This is what I envisioned when I thought of foldable phones. The Galaxy Fold looks dope too, but that's super big. This is kind of what I was picturing. So the design of this phone, it gets an A+ for me. Build quality, on the other hand, it's still gonna be subjective. For me, I haven't had any major issues with build quality. There's a couple things, some nitpicky things that I've noticed about my unit. Like I noticed that when it's closed, let me see if you can hear it. It's a little subtle click. So that was one of the first things that I noticed. I'm like, damn, made me want to go maybe refund and get another one, but I decided to let that go because everything else besides that, when it came to the build quality, has been really good for me. I haven't had any lift up screen, peeling screen issues or anything like that. Yeah, the screen does kind of lift off, but what I've noticed over time with extra folds and like opening and closing actions, that like while this does open, it did open a lot further from the screen. I think you were able to almost see through the other side, but now when you open it, it's flush a little bit more, and it gives me the peace of mind a little bit of there's probably going to be less chance of dirt getting behind the screen and, you know, big pieces of debris. So I'm resting easy on that side of it. I'm not gonna ignore the fact that there have been stories and headlines about the peeling screen, and there was, I forgot the other one, the first one. Damn. Whatever it is, there's been a couple of issues when it came to the Galaxy or the Motorola Razr, and can't ignore that. But I will say I haven't heard any, like, for the people that do have it, I have one of my subscribers, I'm not sure, but somebody commented on my video, my last video, and told me that theirs hasn't really been having any issues, and they haven't been really babying it either. I've been babying mine, but I have kind of opened it up a little bit more, and it's not getting babied too much anymore. So design and build quality for me, I'm not having too much of an issue, but there's a couple other things we're gonna get into. So software and all that stuff, optimization, very, very, very vanilla, basic Android is what you're gonna have on this phone. Very close to Google Pixel, you know. So that right there for me is not a big deal. Never a big deal. I actually enjoy it. Very thin, or what do you want to call it? Very slimmed down when it comes to the OS. Now, I guess only on Verizon, so you do get tons of Verizon bloatware. But aside from that, I like the OI, or the OI. I like the UI. I like stock Android for what it is, and Motorola does that pretty well. Close to what, you know, OnePlus does, but OnePlus gives you a little bit more when it comes to the customization. But anyway, optimization, haven't really had any issues with that. The Snapdragon 710 processor, that's what I was gonna talk about, some more specs. I'm gonna list the specs, but we're not gonna talk too much about them, except for the 710. The 710, if you were on the fence about any kind of mid-range phone this year, especially when it comes to the 700 series, dead it, completely dead it. This is the entry-level 700 series processor, I believe. And this thing goes, like, unless you're gaming, and even if you're doing light gaming, you're cool. But if you're doing like some heavy gaming, you might start to see some drop frames and all that stuff. But for me, this thing flies. Like, haven't had any problems with network, no lag whatsoever, buttery smooth experience on a day-to-day. I love it. It's making me really want to get, now this year I'm going to really dedicate a lot of my coverage of smartphones this year to mid-rangers. So my next one will be another mid-ranger. I'm pretty sure, if something else big comes up, but we'll see. But mid-rangers are coming up on my channel, so if you want to see that kind of content, subscribe, do what you gotta do. I appreciate it for sure. But camera, battery, all that stuff. Battery life, like I said, I'll put a link to my views and what I found for my battery life. What I did today, like I said, I've been using it a little bit more than I typically would, so I'll give you some of my battery percentages that I am at for today. I start my day off playing some music, get in the car, get the music popping there, take it off, get to work, get the music popping there for basically my entire shift from 9 to 6. And it's off and on from like 12 to 2 or something, but for the most part, from 9 to 12, and then from 2 to close, music all day. So I wasn't at work all day today, but let me show you what I was at for my battery usage. I'm at 27% right now, if you can see. Basically 3 hours and 25 minutes screen on time, and 9 hours of charge or whatever, or last full charge was 9 hours ago. If y'all go to the usage, we got 4.5 hours of YouTube music. So I can't gauge what draw YouTube music has, or streaming music has on the phone. I was using it on the Wi-Fi. Actually, you know what? I may not have been. Let me see, can I see that? I don't know if I can check that while using that. I don't know. I believe I wasn't, because I haven't set up the Wi-Fi at my work on this phone yet, but So yeah, I'm pretty happy with my battery life, because going into this, like when I bought this phone, I knew it wasn't gonna be a heavy hitter because of the size, just off bat, like off rip. Look how thin this is. 2500 milliamp hour battery. You know, like I said, I got most of that in another video. I ain't gonna stay on that too long, but battery life for me has been good, decent anyway. I'll just say decent, and I'm happy with it. So lastly, the camera, or not, well, lastly when it comes to specs and stuff like that, but camera, probably the weakest point of this phone. Definitely the weakest point of this phone. So we're looking at a single, what is it, 16 megapixel lens on this one, 5 megapixel selfie camera. Shame on you, Motorola, for that, please. Come on. You gotta help me out, man. I'm trying to have y'all back. Like, I'm all on board with this phone, but you gotta get it used a little bit more than 5 megapixels, man. Like 8, 10, something on the front, on this one right here. And then on the front here, I'm blaming this mostly on just software. Whatever's going on with Motorola's deal with camera, what is it, image processing, whatever, it's trash, okay? We're gonna keep it 100. It's trash, especially if you're not using manual mode. Auto is horrible because I can't get any good focus. Every single time I take a photo, it's like I gotta take extra second to make sure it's in focus. And then by the time you take the picture, the person or thing, whatever you're taking, the photo of is gonna be out of focus or whatever. Like, unless you're taking pictures of people, you know, they can stand still, but you won't be able to really get any pictures of your baby because your baby's always moving, the dogs are always moving. That's where it sucks the most when it comes to the camera on this thing. Other than that, if the focus was better and, you know, maybe a little bit more sharper, which I think you can achieve in manual mode anyway, which is what I do suggest anybody who has this phone, skip auto mode, just shoot everything in manual mode. It'll actually make you understand, you know, the camera's settings and everything a little bit more anyway, which is what I'm doing from now on with this phone. Manual mode, 100%. And like I said, if it was doing that, like, the camera, the whole setup would be decent for me. Like, if they were able to somehow get pixel quality with this single lens, this phone would be a hit in my opinion. The camera for a lot of people is a make it or break it deal, and it could be for me depending on the quality, but since there's a manual mode on here, I'm okay with it. You know, I'll start working with the camera myself. It is what it is. I'll work with it, but camera's at best. Lastly, we're gonna close it out with what you guys need to know, which you probably already know, is it worth it? And the answer is hell no, it's not worth it. I can justify why it's worth it for me, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, even if, like, whatever I say, I'm still like, kind of like, I don't think it's worth it, even after my own justification. I love the design of this thing, which is really why I'm gonna keep this phone. Like, in my opinion, it's a masterpiece. I love this design, and I can't wait for Motorola to expound on this. Everything that they did wrong with this phone, I'm expecting this phone to be 10 times better in this next iteration. Better camera, better build quality, better specs. If you're gonna stay in the 700 series, you have to drop that price significantly. But I'm okay with the 700 series. 765G or whatever, if they throw that on the next one and make it a mid-range or whatever, and drop the price to like 900, like maybe 900 bucks, let's say 900 bucks, that's a hit. Even without the 8, you don't even have to do the 8. The top of the line 700 series on this phone at 900 bucks with everything else that you got, you know, enhance everything else, add, if you can somehow get some water resistance a little bit, I doubt it, but if you could, hey, Motorola, I love it. I'm happy about it. This is my, like, dream phone. When it's perfected, this will be my daily driver, and it's gonna be one of my main phones even today. I just can't have it as my totally main phone because of, you know, its quality right now. I have to baby this a little bit. So next year, I just can't wait, man. I'm happy about this Motorola. Please, if you can somehow hear what I'm saying, I know there's bigger YouTubers that might be sharing the same sentiments. Listen to them, please. You almost there, man. I'm gonna say you about 70% where you should be at, and you know, don't go too crazy trying to chase Samsung and what they're doing over there with the specs and all that stuff. Samsung loves doing that. They treating in my opinion, they treating us customers like goofies. Like, here, just throw like what you do to your kid, like when you just want to get them distracted, like just throw all kinds of toys in their bin, and hopefully, you know, that can distract them a little bit while you go do something else over there. That's what Samsung does with all the features. So we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I would appreciate it if y'all can like, subscribe, share. Do it up for your boy, man, trying to get this thing popping for 2020. And that's been my Motorola Razr. It's not over yet. We're gonna have some more stuff, do some comparisons and all that stuff. But my initial review of this phone, $1,500. It's a no-go. It's a nice trophy though for the enthusiasts like myself, which is kind of the way I'm gonna treat this, a trophy that I bought. So, you know, it is what it is though. But you know, I would love to hear some more from you guys in the comments below. And let's continue this thing. Let's keep it going. Let's talk about it. So, it's your man Wayne Train. If there's anything I missed as well, hit me up. Let me know. Lighting, everything. Let me know. Mic, let me know. I'm trying to get this thing rolling. I'm trying to get this thing right for this year. So, it's your man Wayne Train. I'm out.